was just asking you, what if the internet had a theme song? What would that theme song sound like? You said it kind of did. It had the dial-up tone, but it was...
Bring it back.
It
Remix
seemed
it.
random every time, right? Like it was not the exact same sequence. Same sounds, different pattern.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Or am I completely wrong?
I don't remember it that well.
Weird.
I don't have that kind of ear for music.
Okay.
Or beeps, I guess.
Having to string bonds back. Oh, all right. Sam was like, "Hey, I can't hear Kyle," but apparently we can. We're all good to go. Yeah. I was trying to get the stream started a second ago, and it wasn't working. I had the right stream key, but it was supposed to go to Twitch, but it was not. It was going to YouTube, and everything was all mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, "Internet, do your thing." And I was like, that should be its theme song. That's a really bad one, but what if every time you opened up the internet, there was like 15-second long theme song?
You could adapt the theme song to Underdog.
Sure.
It's about the same number of syllables.
Internet, here to save the day.
Speed of lightning, roar of thunder. I'd say it has those.
Yeah. Speed of gigabit. Hopefully. Internet. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to episode 68 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log, where every week here on the whatnauts.com we get together and talk about all sorts of shenanigans. This week, Google turned 21. Happy birthday to the internet.
I can take Google to a winery if I want to.
Yeah.
Where does it live? Like Seattle?
Well, apparently we learned last week that Virginia is the internet capital of the world.
Y'all got wineries?
Yeah, I would think so.
Like, I think you can probably grow grapes anywhere, but I don't know where you get like really good grapes.
California.
California grapes. State Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah, plenty of wineries.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. What happened to Ask Jeeves?
Oh, Washington is the second ranked state for wineries.
Okay.
Maybe that's where he went. He's like, you kids stop bothering me. I've lived a long, hard life as a butler. I'm going to relax, put my feet up, drink some Riesling. He's kicking back, him and every other butler of yesterday. The one from The Nanny, the one from Fresh Prince, Secret Butler Club. Gerard Butler.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Now that Google can drink,
yeah,
what do you think its first drink would be? Is it sitting there with an old-fashioned? Is it sitting there with a rum and Coke? Is it sitting there with a Long Island iced tea or whatever it is?
I'll tell you what it's got. You know those big, long plastic sipper bottles you could get if you're like on Bourbon Street or like the Las Vegas Strip or whatever?
Yeah.
It's one of those things. And it's
like
got
a curly straw coming out the end.
And it's got the beverages of different beverages of different sweetness levels and sugar densities, so that it's a layered drink, and it is the colors of the Google logo.
Oh, okay. I can see
that.
They're
all about that color scheme. Like, that's absolutely Google's first drink, is just like 2 feet of sugar.
Yeah, just like it's just Jello shots stacked on top of each other.
That's exactly what it is.
Right?
Its first drink and its first solid,
right?
Alcoholic solid.
Sam suggested a hurricane. She also mentioned that Ask Jeeves turned into Ask.com. I haven't looked
Where
at Ask
Jeeves?
Jeeves. Yeah, I don't know where I can't ask him anything because Google stole the internet.
I hope I'm gonna Google him. Jeeves.
Where can I ask Jeeves?
Oh, it's bringing me up the Platonic ideal of a Jeeves, who is a butler named
Platonic
Jeeves.
ideal of Jeeves.
Like the Jeeves we all get Jeeves from. It's a character from P.G. Wodehouse novels. That's what it is.
I have no idea what that is. Is it like a
Um, it's
Sherlock Holmes knockoff?
no. It is these British novels. There was a TV show made out of them. Jeeves and Wooster. Jeeves and Wooster. You've heard of it. It's Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry.
Doctor Who?
It's Stephen Fry, I think. All of these butlers go back to Stephen Fry. I'm
Yeah,
Let me click
not
on
familiar with that
images.
at all.
Okay. Number one Google image search for Jeeves. The cover of a P.G. Wodehouse novel. The poster for Jeeves and
Wow.
Wooster. Number three, Ask Jeeves.
They don't even have the best SEO spot. Like, I wonder if they did that out of spite and just Google was just like, we're just gonna knock these guys up a bit, so it's a little bit
Google
more.
Jeeves. This is a delightful page of images. Just so many like chins and pinstripes.
I'm looking it up right now, so we can see.
Jeeves.
From there we go. Yeah, it's a bunch of like butlers and stuff. Yeah, I'd see Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie there.
I love butlers. I keep telling myself one of these years for Halloween I'm going to be a butler, not like wear a suit and carry a tray, but like fully embody the role of butler, act as butler, live, breathe, become butler for the entirety of whatever this Halloween party is. Nobody's answering the door on their own. Let me get it. The butler. Are there lady butlers?
I would imagine so.
Butlets?
Let's see
Buttresses?
here. Let's do. Are there lady butlers?
Gosh.
A butler is usually male and in charge of male servants, while a housekeeper is usually a woman and in charge of female servants.
I keep a house already. I want to be a butler.
It's probably one of those things. It can happen. It's just not common. Sam was like, God damn it, they're called maids.
This is what I want, I think, out of this new Robert Pattinson Batman, where it's like an entirely different continuity all on its own. Just have a Lady Alfred.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's stopping us?
Yeah.
Name me one obstacle to Lady Alfred.
I can see that. Be interesting. I would still want to see her like as a like big, more butch character, because I like Alfred has to have that like military background.
Red.
Yes, the one that's based off the comic book with Bruce Willis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Helen Mirren in that movie. Just copy paste.
True. Interesting. Did you see? I forget his name, but the guy that they're eyeing for Alfred, or not Alfred, for Commissioner Gordon.
Jeffrey Wright.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's
I really dig
Discord.
him. Jeffrey Wright, who you may know as
Discord. You can join us and talk about all sorts of cool things.
Yeah, hop on there. Give us links to stuff. Yeah, he plays Felix Leiter in this run of Daniel Craig James Bond movies. He's supposed to be in the next one, which will be Craig's last. But the James Bond franchise has a history of like the ancillary characters carrying over from Bond to Bond.
Mm-hmm.
Like there will be the same M for like 2 or 3 Bonds.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There could be more of him in the future. Just get him in all the franchises. Like
what
that
if
guy.
with all of these like de-aging techniques and stuff like that, we see a new Bond film where Bond turns out to be this like clone. Like he's just like it is like M has always been the same M, like all of that stuff, but Bond finds out that he's just like this laboratory grown clone.
like Batman Beyond or like the
God,
Venture Brothers.
I wouldn't say exactly like Batman Beyond, but just like yeah, like there are multiple copies of them. They last 2 or 3 years. They go on a mission, they get killed, or they have there's some defect, and so it's like all right, next one.
This might be what the movie Gemini Man is about.
Really?
I don't know. I keep seeing commercials for it, and there's old Will Smith and then young Will Smith, and he's like, "What's New One doing here?" And New One's like, I'm here to do some sort of a secret agent job. Not sure. Melissa's
Oh,
not sure.
did I see a preview for that
You must
during
have.
something?
You must have. During I don't know, maybe Captain Marvel, something like that. I saw the preview a while ago, and
It's
they're just now kicking into TV commercials. I think it's an October release.
it's very vague. I don't remember it, but I kind of do. That's why.
Yeah.
Um. So, if Google is a bunch of like is like a super tall drink
Yeah.
layered multiple colors and a big bendy straw that spells out Google.
Mhm.
Uh, what drink would Ask Jeeves be? Would he be an old fashioned?
I think he'd be like a snifter of cognac.
Yeah, or just like whiskey straight. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's like what the
Whiskey on the
Alfred would
rocks.
get. Yeah.
Um, what about Amazon? What would Amazon be if it was a drink?
A screwdriver.
Yeah, I'm thinking something with like an orange peel somehow mixed
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, they are orange. That's why I said a screwdriver. Also, you could get one there.
True. Yeah. um, what about Netflix? What would Netflix
Ooh.
be?
Ah. Netflix is
Would it be a shot of something? I
maybe.
I'm going back and forth between a shot of like tequila or just a like
No.
no,
Netflix is for binging, so it's a long sip and drink.
a 40.
Yeah.
Right. Um something, yeah, I would say something more chill, right? Netflix and
Yes.
chill, just something you can sip on,
Or
a
like
good
something
beer.
yeah, like something low alcohol where you could just drink a ton of it before you actually get drunk. I feel like Netflix would be a hard root beer.
Hmm,
Yeah.
okay. What else? What else is another popular website that the people go to these days? What would, all right, so TikTok would absolutely, I guess that's more of an app and not a website. I'm thinking social media now. So like Twitter, that
Okay,
would be a tequila shot,
sure.
right?
TikTok would be I was gonna say because it's so like energetic and choppy, a Four Loco, but it needs to be something more modern than a Four Loco. Like whatever the equivalent of that is nowadays.
Like a gummy bear or Skittles vodka shot.
Yeah, yeah, one of them.
Interesting. I wonder what our website would be. What is the
Oh,
Whatnauts?
oof. Dang. Okay.
Sam, help us out. If you're still here in the
We,
chat, what kind of alcohol would the
I
whatnauts.com
feel like
be?
we're a whiskey Coke because both of us like that. You like that. I like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, that's my
With like
go-to.
something extra on it, like a cherry Coke with whiskey.
Okay. Sam says a screwdriver, but she also says I don't fucking know. So
I feel like whatever we are,
some
we are.
help you are, Sam.
I don't
Jeez.
know. I don't know what the drink is, but it's got so many candy garnishes on the rim of the glass.
Do you do you like extra sugary alcohol and stuff like
Oh
that?
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a
Interesting.
real sugar baby. Like I can't drink beers. There's a lot of stuff that is way too bitter for me. When I drink wine, it is the lightest, whitest, sweetest wines. I'm
Okay.
drinking a hard seltzer right now, but
Like a white claw.
it's
Are you one of
Bon
those people?
It's Bon and Viv. I have no loyalty to any one particular brand of hard seltzer. I picked this up because it came in prickly pear flavor. I love prickly
Prickly
pear. You never
pear.
see it around that much, but it needed to be sweeter, so I poured like this strawberry sparkling water into it that's surprisingly sweet
I
tasting, not actually even sugar in it. I don't know what that magic is.
I heard an interesting question. At what point does flavored water stop being flavored water and actually become like it's just fruit punch or this is like a strawberry drink? Because
Wh-
you've had like water with lemon or
yes.
Gatorade makes their propel water and it's like it's
Gotcha.
water with like strawberry kiwi flavoring,
Yeah.
right? But when does that not just become like a strawberry kiwi drink and not water?
Are you looking for like some sort of real Alton Brown culinary answer about this? I feel like it's just when the flavor is like you don't have to go searching for it. You don't have to taste it and say like, "Oh yeah, I can see that." It's like, "Ah yes. No question, no doubt in my mind, deeply and thoroughly, this is strawberry kiwi." Water is only a vessel to get strawberry kiwi flavor to me. It is not the flavor is not an accessory to just water by itself.
Okay, because the person was asking like they usually go by the color. If
Sure.
it's still clear, it is still water. But then I forget what I was listening to.
You
They
don't
were
know what you
like,
just did,
no,
Kyle.
that's not true because there's X, Y, and Z and this and that and it. What are you looking up?
Speaking of be- beverages that are super flavored but look clear, I have been obsessed with this Crystal Pepsi commercial
Oh
lately.
goodness.
This, do you remember a couple years ago when they tried to bring Crystal Pepsi back?
Yeah.
There was this commercial for it that I saw and like really loved and suddenly remembered again this week. And I looked it up and it only has like 12,000 views. And I'm like, you're kidding me. I thought this was a well liked commercial. Was it just me? Was it seriously always just me that was in love with this Crystal Pepsi reboot commercial?
What
Like,
do
I
I
just
look up on
I
YouTube? Oh,
sent
you
it to
just
you.
sent
I
me the
sent
link.
it to you. It's
Well,
called it's called the 92nd floor, and it's like a long 2.5 minute commercial about this janitor in the Pepsi building that finds a button in the elevator, like this dusty old button labeled the 92nd floor, and he goes up to the 92nd floor and he steps in, and then everything is VHS quality, and he's gone back into 1992 where the Crystal Pepsi marketing team has been waiting. They're like, we never left. We've always been here. Now we're
oh,
ready.
the 92nd floor, as in like 92, not as in
Yes.
like 90 seconds. Like, I waited a minute and a half, and god damn it, this thing, I'm sitting here like trying to look it up, and I'm like, I don't see this, and then I see one, the 92nd floor.
A floor that only exists for a minute and a half at a time.
Right.
Yeah, and then it's just like they play Whoop There It Is as the entire group of 90s business people dance and like pop bottles of Crystal Pepsi and celebrate the rise of Crystal Pepsi. I've watched this thing a couple times already this week. Everybody, please, for me, for your girl, watch this Crystal Pepsi commercial.
I'm playing it on our stream thing in the back. Around, he uncovers the button, and it goes up to the 92nd floor, and it becomes all like VHS looking.
I love it. It's one of those. I was going to say it's one of those commercials you could live in, but I don't know if that's like a list people keep. That's not a category of commercial.
That's funny.
The ones you live in.
Oh, let's see. I think it's still going. There we go. Yeah. Do you remember Pepsi Blue? You remember that one?
I remember it being a product, but I'm not a Pepsi drinker. What was it actually?
I actually don't remember. I just remember it being a thing for like a summer, and I was like, oh, it looks so cool. Yeah. 10-year-old me was like, yeah. 2000. Y2K. Pepsi Blue.
It's berry flavored, and like it has like a weird long bottle.
Yeah. It was strange. What is your favorite like non-traditional soda?
Oh, Pibb.
Mr. Pibb? What about
Is there
Pibb
a
Extra?
Mrs. Pibb? This is what I ask.
Have you had Pibb Extra?
I have.
You guys have that stuff? Mr. Pibb is good. That's for sure. I think my favorite was Mountain Dew Pitch Black 2. It was, right? So they did Mountain Dew Pitch Black, which was like their grape one, which is, it's like grape soda's okay, like it's not all that good, but Mountain Dew Pitch Black 2 was sour. It was like a sour soda, and I was like, yo, this stuff is awesome. It is so good.
I remember kind of liking the Game Fuel soda when it first came out because it tasted and smelled like concentrated gummy bears.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Concentrated bears. Oh my god, one time I was at the summer camp that I would go to with my church, and this kid had a whole bag of gummy bears that he brought, and I don't know if it was his first time there. I don't remember. He wasn't really supposed to have food, but I was one of the counselors, so I was like, as long as you give me some, we're all good. But he got there that first day, and of course, like, there's no air conditioning. It's hot. It's 90 degrees outside. The whole thing melts, and it becomes like one giant gummy bear. It was like that big. It was huge.
Shaped like the inside of a bat.
Right. It was so bad.
Cut yourself off a square, stab it with a toothpick.
He was so, like, he had forgotten. Like, we all had forgotten, because that first night, it's all the like meet and greet stuff. Make sure you go do your swimming test, do all that stuff. Then we eat, and then we would have to come up with like chants for our cabins. Like, this is our team, so we need to have a theme song just like the internet. And so we would have to do all of that stuff, and so you just forget. Like, you're not back at your cabin, and then the next day we start all the activities and stuff like that. And so it was like day 3 when he remembered it, and he's like, oh, my gummy bears, I still have gummy bears. And so he like runs over and he takes them out, and he just looks so defeated as he couldn't eat them.
totally could. They're just
I mean,
more
yeah, but it was
gummies
just
than
like,
there.
what? How do how do I eat this? Like, what do I do?
Just face first.
Yeah, Melissa,
Yes.
we have gone what about 20 minutes or so into this, and we haven't mentioned
Right.
the big
Right.
news of the day.
Our boy's back. Our boy is safe with his
We
family.
did it! Spider-Man is back in the MCU.
So now that it has happened, now that the truth has come to light, and all is well with the world, I can reveal this incredibly dumb ritual that I tried to enact to bring him home.
What
I
spell
was
did you cast?
I was very stressed about Spider-Man being split up from his family. I'm also generally stressed about that happening to real people also. I was stressed about a lot of things. Eh,
Good boy, Spider-Man.
Very good boy. Carry him with us always. And so I'm like, I gotta do something. I know. I'll write a wish on a slip of paper and burn the paper in a candle. Because that felt magic to me. I'm like, this will really put purpose and intent out in the world if I
Mhm.
write it down and then like release it into the air via
Sure.
candle. So I light the candle. The scent of the candle is cherry noir. And I picked
Okay.
it because it's red and he's red.
And there is a book called Spider-Man Noir, which if you've
Yes, also.
seen Into the Spider-Verse, that's Spider-Man Noir is in that one. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Nicolas Cage. Thank you.
So I write a wish on a slip of paper and it just says like, people will overcome their differences and get along and realize the importance, because I wanted it to be about Spider-Man and also about like real people, so I kept it very general. Like, you can't spend all
I
this
wish
time
for
worrying about a
world
fictional
peace
boy.
and for Spider-Man to be back with Marvel.
Kind of, yes. Like, people will recognize the importance of teamwork and collaboration and family and kindness, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I write it on a slip of paper. I light the candle. I try and burn it into the candle, but like there's not really very much space for it to go in. Like, the top of the wax is pretty close to the top of the jar.
What? So it was like a mason jar candle thing from like Yankee Candle or
No,
whatever.
it's not a mason jar, but it is a jar. It's like a
That's
glass,
yeah.
glass tube full of wax. Wax is red. Got a wick in there.
I haven't been to Bed Bath and Beyond in 2 decades, so I don't know
Sorry,
what they're
Candle.
called. I am
Attainable
not
by even you.
I'm not versed in the ways of home decorating.
Boy, I got so many candles. So I'm trying to light the piece of paper on fire, but it's not like in movies. It's not like in movies where it just sort of burns up and it looks artsy and the flame wicks away at the paper and the paper turns black and then you take the last little bit and just throw it into the fire. Like, it just started turning to ash, like big chunks of ash.
Sure,
So
yeah.
now my coffee table is covered with ash and I'm like shaking the thing trying to get it out,
What
and I
a
end up just like
what a callback to what happened to Spider-Man in
and I'm just and like and then I'm scared, like, oh no, what if it catches on fire? Like, not just the paper, but like the paper hits something else. I light
I would
my
have laughed so hard if you were like, Kyle, I'm gonna need to cancel today's episode because I started a fire in my apartment building trying to wish for Spider-Man back into the MCU. I was casting a spell and it didn't work.
like, Melissa, you can't do this. Your floors are carpet. You have deep personal attachments to this couch. Like, so then I'm like, oh no, oh no. So like the paper's only halfway burned, and then I just like shove the rest of it into the half melted wax, but it doesn't burn. So then I have to like stand over the sink and pull all the paper shreds out and like try and clean up the candle so it looks like I didn't try and light a piece of paper and fire in there. I reveal this
Wow,
now because
Melissa.
apparently it worked. If it didn't work, I would never tell anyone.
That's hilarious.
So I would recommend this because evidently it's a valid practice. But get you like
You hear
a
that, kids? Go home and start fires right
get
now.
yourself like a tall
Don't do
candle jar,
that.
but like the wax is like halfway down. So you've got room to like light the paper on fire and keep it contained within the jar of the
Sure.
candle. This was too fresh a candle.
Okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, I was expecting to have a hell week at work this
Yeah.
week. It wasn't as bad, but today was really busy. Today was the only day that was like nonstop. Just
Mm.
I had, from the moment I got there to the moment I left, I had stuff to do. Um, so I wasn't really checking things all that often. Usually I'm on Twitter or in some Discord servers and stuff like that, and I guess the news came out right around noon Eastern time, and I didn't see it until like 3.
Whoo.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Wasted hours
I
of your
know, right?
life.
I
I
felt
thought like
so
the
bad.
second it came out, I got a notification on my phone and I'm like in the middle. I am sending a text chat to the woman who sits next to me.
Uh-huh.
Instead of us actually talking to each
Oh,
other, I'm
I,
sending
I,
her a
I
text.
do the exact
Yeah.
same thing.
Oh, well, she was
I don't
eating
want to
lunch and I
talk to
wanted to
them.
tell her, "Hey, your lunch looks and smells really good. Way to go. That's great. Where'd you get that? That's amazing. I want
Thanks for
some."
stinking up the office, Janet.
No, I'm like, steak and potatoes? It's really good. So that's why I'm typing to her instead of asking her, because I'm like, well, she's eating lunch. So I'm like doing that with one hand, and then I get this notification on my phone, and I look at it with the other hand, and I'm like, the boy is safe.
The boy is back in town. The boy is back in town.
Yes. So I'm going through this entire like just emotional ecstasy while I know she can still like look over and see me out of like one eye while I'm having an entire moment over
You're
there.
sitting there just like, yeah.
I felt like twirling. Like I wrote in the Discord that I felt like getting up and running through the office and like shouting the news at everybody like I'm George
You
Bailey
should
wishing
have.
everyone a Merry Christmas. I would have, but I was wearing heels today.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, you old Daily Bugle.
Yeah, exactly. That, yeah. So I'm super stoked. It's from, I think I read, I like skimmed through some article, but it sounds like Sony accepted Marvel's terms that they sent them a while back, like shortly after the leak was like, it's not happening, Spider-Man's out of the MCU, and they were just like, never mind, we'll take the deal.
You think now it's
Who
like
knows exactly how that
Marvel,
went
Disney
down,
get
but
like 25% of profits and merchandise rights, and Sony gets everything
it will.
else?
So yeah, Marvel now has to finance 25% of the
Oh, okay.
film. They also get a 25%, I guess, stake in the how the films do, and yes, they still maintain all the merchandising rights and stuff like that. And I think it allows them one more Spider-Man solo film that is like tangentially in the MCU, and then one more appearance in like a non Spider-Man film.
Yeah,
So
so it's an
we don't
MCU
know what
and
that
then
one is yet.
another home movie.
Yeah,
And then we'll see what happens. Like I really do
Spider-Man:
hope
Homecoming 2.
he came back home.
Yeah,
I really do hope that I would love someday to just see a singularity of Spider-Man. Like what we already saw with Spider-Verse, but like let's bring them all in. Toby, Andrew,
yeah. No,
Tom. Bring in the other Tom. Bring in Venom. All of it. I'll take
I
all of
well,
it.
so
All
there's
Spider-Man,
there's
please.
been rumors going around recently that it actually will happen, that Venom will cross over with Spider-Man in some kind of capacity. Maybe Peter will show up in there. We'll be swinging by in the background. Who knows?
That would,
Um,
yeah, send Peter to San Francisco. That's a good place for him to be.
something like that. I did. Sony knocked it out of the park with Into the Spider Verse. I absolutely want them to just go nuts with that. Play with that. Bring
Yes.
Toby back. Bring Andrew Garfield back. Bring the old 60s. Get the Japanese one back. Bring him in for just, like make it happen where the live action version makes an appearance in the animated version, and it's the like Who Framed Roger Rabbit style, where like
don't
they're
tempt me.
both
What a
on.
dream.
Please do that. That would be amazing.
Do you know those Power Rangers where it'll be like it's every red?
Yes, yeah.
I want that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I can see them doing that. I can it's one of those things of like they just set him up to be like the next cornerstone of the MCU, the next Tony Stark, right? Which it's looking like it might not head that direction, despite him being back into the swing of things. Maybe
I
they'll
get the vibe there will be an additional baton handoff.
Well, so I'm wondering if in some capacity he will go to some other universe. He will go to some other multiverse and will be like the Tony Stark of that one.
I love this. Like,
again, that's the whole like Spider-Verse thing.
I'll be sad to miss the boy in the MCU, but like if they just picked him up whole cloth, like got a proper MCU goodbye, and he's off to another CU.
The SMCU, the Sony Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I know that's what it seemed like would have to happen to begin with, but there wasn't a goodbye set up for it, where it seemed like Sony was just like, okay, he's all ours. None for you.
Yeah.
None for you, Disney Marvel. But like if I could get like a full another, great solo film, another MCU film with him handing the baton off to another leader, and then he's like he just turns around and smiles at you, and then he walks into the sunset and he continues to live again in a different franchise. Nobody else has done that. It's not like
it's not even like he'd be in a different franchise per se, but just the idea of like Into the Spider-Verse plays with the idea of a multiverse.
Yes.
The second Spider-Man Far From Home was the first time that they kind of confirmed a multiverse. They mentioned it, but there's the Easter egg that all of the multiverses they mentioned were wrong. Like they mixed it up. We talked about that in our Spider-Man Far From Home spoiler cast on the Reactor Core, so you guys should go check that out. Whatnauts.com. But then the next Doctor Strange film is going to play off the events of WandaVision, but the next Doctor Strange film is entitled The Multiverse of Madness. Like there's this idea that there is a multiverse out there. What if there is a multiverse that needs heroes, that needs someone like Peter, who is now up to the task of being the next Tony Stark, to be like, they need my help.
Yeah, like Carol being like, I know Earth is in trouble, but space is in so much more trouble. Y'all take care of Earth. I got to go to space.
Yeah, something like that.
I do like this. Like,
who knows?
People make fun of the concept of everything being in a cinematic universe and how that's like the big trend these days, but I love it. This is all we used to dream of as children. Like you'd watch like the Saturday morning cartoon block, and they don't exist in the same world except for in like if they splice clips together in commercials. Cartoon Fridays.
Yeah, the one where they all were in the movie theater.
We could have this now. We dreamed of this. What if this is real? What is the interaction? we're in a world where we can have things like that happen. This is the Space Jam principle, as I call it.
The Space Jam theory.
Which initially traces its roots back, I believe, to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, not in terms of live action actors interacting with cartoon characters, but in terms of, okay, let's dump all of these properties into one movie pot
Yeah,
together.
sure.
Everything you thought was separate, nah.
League of
There's Bugs
Extraordinary
Bunny.
Gentlemen
Yes,
style
yes.
thing. Yeah.
Even before Roger Rabbit. Like, no, it's all one. It's all one thing together.
Yeah.
It's like the heckin' Olympics or something like that. All countries come together, light a torch, wave some flags, play a sport.
Yeah.
But for movies.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. We'll have to see. I think they also said the next solo Spider-Man film is slated for, I think it was either June or July 2021.
That seems soon.
I'm wondering if Disney and Sony are like, look, we've made 2 hits. We accepted this deal. Let's just get it over with. Let's just do the next one, and we can do all of that stuff.
Well, I
Who
guess
knows?
they do have to knock him out pretty soon because, I don't think every Spider-Man movie is taking place in Peter's life after every 2 years or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
So you kind of compress it where it's like, "Hi, I'm high school student Peter Parker. I'm not an adult man at all."
he goes to the multiverse. He goes to the universe where it is just it is the like soap operas and stuff where all the 32-year-olds are still playing high schoolers. Right. That'd be really funny. So you have here on
Yes.
our sheet of possible topics a question regarding the MCU.
Let me set this up for you.
Okay, set the
So
stage.
So last weekend I'm at my parents' house, and the original Iron Man movie is on TV,
Mm-hmm.
which I haven't gone back and watched in several years. So I sit down, I watch the entire thing. My parents sit down and watch it with me. And it is so hard because they haven't seen Far From Home yet to not talk about the fact that, oh, the latest MCU movie has a very direct callback to this movie.
Yeah.
I'm not able to talk about this. So instead, the scene where Obadiah Stane is yelling at the scientist, Tony Stark could build this in a cave with a box
Tony
of
Stark
scraps!
could build this in a cave.
I say to my dad, who's big into movie trivia, every time we watch a movie, he's got IMDb pulled up on his phone and he's trying to quiz me on things.
Yeah.
This time I've got him. I point to the little man and I say, do you know who that is? And Dad says, no, I give in. Who is it? And I said, that's the kid from A Christmas Story.
Christmas Story, yeah.
And they both, Mom and Dad, go, oh. And Dad keeps looking at me. He says, really? That's Ralphie, huh? And then my mom says, oh, Ralphie, A Christmas Story.
Ralphie.
I thought you were talking about Home Alone. I was going to say that doesn't look like Macaulay Culkin. And I said, yeah, Mom, he's not in this. And then I thought, but he still could be. And I spent the rest of the night thinking, what Marvel character would Macaulay Culkin be particularly well suited to play?
You know, I think he has a new podcast that he's doing. Macaulay Culkin is hosting a podcast these days.
Good.
But who did you come up with to have Macaulay Culkin play in the MCU?
Warren Worthington III.
Angel. Okay.
Yeah. I went through a couple iterations. He could be a fine Silver Surfer, sure. They're throwing out everybody's name for Silver Surfer, but I'm like, Angel. I think he'd be a good Angel.
Silver Surfer came to mind just because of how like bleach blonde his hair is, and I'm just like, he's super white. He's almost silver. But no, I don't think he would be a good Silver Surfer. Let's see. Sam says Macaulay Culkin has been making a lot of fun appearances on YouTube channels like AVGN and Red Letter Media. Who'd I would I do Macaulay Culkin as in the MCU?
This is
Hmm.
one of my this is one of my favorite games to play because the MCU is so big and wild and so many people have shown up in it. We're like, we can name any actor and we could find a place for them to fit into. What you
Melissa,
got?
I have the perfect one.
Who
Beta
is it?
Ray Bill.
Oh my god, you're right!
Beta Ray Bill. The horse face motherfucking Thor.
Oh dang. Oof. Oof.
Let
That
me
ain't bad. That ain't bad.
Beta Ray Bill. I'll pull up some pictures for you guys out there, because he is one of the best characters out there. Let's see if we can find large images. Yeah. Can't fucking Google, man. Goddamn 21-year-old thinking he can run the fucking world, and he can't. He puts the pictures on the side. What? I
Peter
don't.
Ray Bill is so buff, but like we'd have to
I'll have to
digitize the
figure it
heck
out.
out of him anyway to
Well,
even give him
like,
that face. We can add some digi muscles.
yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Like, he's not obviously, like, it's not going to be his face, but
Yeah.
I feel like imagine him like trying to get buff for that role, but
Ooh.
still having the like childlike playful. I'm not actually sure what Beta Ray Bill's character is, but or like what his actual like personality is
I think
like
he's a good
and stuff,
guy.
right? But like I can see him like having this Home Alone aspect of this childlike, I'm going to play, and just Thor just being fucking pissed off that he's being beaten by a goddamn horse, and he's just like, why, god damn it. Like, can we get a Home Alone movie where Beta Ray Bill steals Mjolnir from Thor, who tries to go get it back, but it's Home Alone. Thor and Valkyrie or whoever are the two criminals.
We call ourselves the Wet Bandits.
I'd love that. That would be amazing.
Like, why aren't horror movies just Home Alone?
let's just remake Home Alone, but with like, yeah, with as a superhero film.
Gosh, yes.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh my god. That'd be amazing. I was hoping he would show up in like Thor Ragnarok, or it would at least be mentioned in Thor Ragnarok, because we got the scene where he shows up in the comics, but they replaced it with him with Hulk.
Oh, what?
Or wait, yeah, is that right, or was it Silver Surfer?
What?
I don't remember. When was it? No, I think it was with Paul that I covered Planet Hulk. We did a compare and contrast of the Planet Hulk comics and the graphic novel, and I think the comics have Beta Ray Bill. The graphic novel replaces him with Silver Surfer, and then Thor Ragnarok uses Hulk instead. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I pasted like 3 different links into the live stream chat on our Discord. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. Yeah, so Sam, a long time ago, when we first started live streaming, this was before Melissa joined. We would have our like a special like Discord chat that we would show up on live stream. But since we're so small, no one ever used it because we didn't have people who watched us live. It was just like, hey, for $1 a month, you can get access to our live stream chat, and it'll pop up on screen.
Yeah.
And
the
then
person who showed up was me, and now I'm here.
Yeah, so. Right. So I saw the first thing you posted in there, Sam, on the Ask Jeeves thing. But yeah, let's see. You have The boys are back in town, and Home Alone games with Macaulay Culkin. There you go, on Angry Video Game Nerd. Cool, we'll have to check it out. Good stuff. Beta Ray Bill, man. He needs to be in the MCU.
Yeah, like he's a fan fave. We'll get him eventually. I feel like they wouldn't deny us him. And like
that's the thing. Thor Ragnarok, it was so fucking funny. And if we take that level of like funny and weird and strange that we know Taika Waititi will do with this next horror film, why not give us Frog Thor too? Like, turn him into a toad for a sec, because that would be hilarious.
Why do you think they're giving him 2 movies? All sorts of things can happen in Love and Thunder.
Oh yeah, there you go. But enough about the MCU. We covered a comic book last week on the review show Stumptown. You checked out the first episode as it premiered this past week on ABC.
Yes.
What did you think?
I liked it. It's not gay yet, but a lot of the other parts are still intact.
Not enough bisexual detectiving.
No, we ain't there yet. But I feel like they wouldn't cut that out entirely, especially with Greg Rucka himself as a producer. Like it's I'm sure
only the first episode.
Yeah, you can only fit so much in a pilot, but the other stuff's there. Ansel's very charming.
Nice.
He's in this first episode more than I think he is around in that story in the comic.
Hell yeah.
Instead of being this like cute boy next door, Gray is this very Portland like bearded guy trying to open a bar because of course.
Because he wants to have a venue space so that one day there can be a great Nirvana tribute band be there every Friday night.
It feels very Portland to me, as I understand
cool.
Portland not having ever been remotely close to there.
So I don't want to go too in the weeds with this, but how did it compare to the comic? Like, did it stick with the storyline?
The first episode is an adaptation of the first volume.
Sure.
It simplifies it a whole lot, though.
First volume. So it's the first episode is the whole volume?
Yeah, it's that case. It's pretty
interesting.
It's the basic skeleton of Dex owes money to the casino. The casino owner hires her to find her granddaughter who has gone missing or potentially run away. It's that storyline.
Does it resolve?
Yes.
Interesting.
All of the other crime connections
I wasn't expecting that.
It's like it's a lot more just like in and out. Here's the case. It's the pilot episode.
Gotcha.
It's less noir, but it's really fun. Like she drives this cruddy old car like she does in the comics, but there's a mixtape stuck in the stereo that she can't get out. So the whole episode is scored to these like classic love pop hits.
Nice.
Like they'll just be like Don't Go Breaking My Heart playing while she's like driving around looking for suspects or whatever. It's
fun.
It does that well.
Okay.
It's really good with the needle drops like that. Check it
like
out.
That.
I think you'd like it.
Do you think because they covered that first volume in the entire first episode, do you think it's going to be a case of the week style thing? Or is it like season number 1 is going to be her getting mixed up in this gang stuff?
So far, it seems like it'll be more episodic, but I've got one pilot to work off of.
Yeah, true. I wasn't expecting it to be that, like, have that be the like have the first episode cover the first volume. I was expecting at least volumes 1 and 2 to be like the first season. You know how they'll do like a 12 episode season, and the first 6 are one case, and the second half is one case, and it's there is like this overarching story of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting that
That might
more.
be, I don't know the production history of the show. I would imagine something like that is suited more for a show that is bought all at once.
Okay.
Like, I don't think you could sell a pilot that is an incomplete story like that. And that might have been how the show was made.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I will have to check it out and see if it's on Hulu or
It
something
is.
like that. It is
Yes.
sweet. Cool. I will have to go check it out then.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Um. So I do you have pets?
I have never had a pet.
You've never had a pet. You were never taught responsibility by having a pet.
I'm very responsible. I take care of this whole 2-bedroom apartment by myself. I make payments on
Yeah.
a beige sedan. I have an office job. I'm responsible. Oh, my
No.
parents just
So
didn't want an animal around. They didn't want it. They didn't want to have to clean up after it, even if I promised them I would do it. They're like, no, just any extra thing in the house. Not a big fan of that.
so
Just you two kids is
the
fine, thanks.
reason I'm asking is because one of the things that people that have pets typically do is they will
Mm,
leave their TVs on when they
yes.
go out of the house. Be like, all right, you guys can watch Game of Thrones episode by the way. Okay, I'll be back. And then they go about their business and they'll come back and they'll be like, all right, so what did you think of Tyrion, huh? What a jackass, right? uh and yeah, but like, so that's something that my roommate does. She'll leave the TV
Oh.
on just for the dogs. It's on downstairs right now because she's off at work. And today she had it on some kind of, we don't have cable, so it's on like Pluto TV or something like that,
Yeah.
but it's on some kind of like animal channel, right?
Yes.
My parents do a similar thing. They found, yeah, some kind of like animal channel,
Mhm.
and one of my dogs, Molly, like knows when that channel is on.
Oh.
Like she can see the dogs or the cats that's on there, and she's just like, "What is that?
Oh.
Why are they in that box? How
Yeah.
did they, how did they get in there?" um, but like they'll like sit there and watch it. So I was downstairs getting stuff to drink for before this podcast, and the show that is on is some kind of like animal history channel, kind of just something you would see in the middle of the
Mhm.
day that no one is actually watching. But they were, it was a whole like thing on presidential pets,
Ah.
of just like, these are the history of the pets that the presidents of the United States have had. There's a long history of dogs, starting with George Washington, who was also the creator of the foxhound breed, and
Mhm.
all of this stuff. So I was just like, huh, okay, interesting, whatever. And then they just continued to like rattle off. And this guy had this type of pet, and this guy had this type of pet, and this guy had an alligator. And I was like, whoa, wait, what?
What? Excuse me?
Yeah, no, that can't be real. Don't tell me they had an alligator. So I looked it up. I was like, all right, we have to talk about the presidential pets, and I looked it up, and yeah, apparently, let me see here. It was alligator. Oops. How do I spell that? Gator. There we go. Whoa, why is it not showing up now? I had it just a second ago. No, wait. Why is that going to the one down there? I want the other one. Here, oh, there's that one. Oh, there's multiple references. Let's see. Okay, so here's the one that I heard. John Quincy Adams had an alligator said to have belonged to Marquis de Lafayette and housed for 2 months in the East Room.
I've listened to Hamilton. I've seen 1776 live. Why is there no musical about the presidential alligator?
Right? Wikipedia goes on to say, although the story has been widely circulated, the lack of evidence from contemporary accounts or official records suggests this is an apocryphal myth. That was the one that I heard, but then searching for alligators here on this Wikipedia page, which is I just searched for presidential pets. Benjamin Harrison had 2 alligators. According to one account, Russell Harrison kept 2 alligators in the White House conservatory.
At least that's a greenhouse. That's a room where I think an alligator should be if it has to be in a room.
Sure, right? Not just like, oh, he's over in the East Room. He's over in the Oval Office today.
Oh, don't open that door. There's an alligator down there.
Right?
I want to read you this list of presidential pet names.
Yes. So they're wild.
George Washington had dogs named Sweet Lips, Vulcan, Drunkard, Tipsy. He had a donkey named Royal Gift.
Yep.
John Adams had a dog named Satan. Thomas Jefferson had a mockingbird named Dick.
And we thought Satan is in the White House now. Mockingbird named Dick.
William Henry Harrison had a goat.
Thomas Jefferson had 2 grizzly bear cubs.
2.
Why?
Oh, man, these are getting into I named my dog Fido because that's a new concept at this time. I'm Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, so they also mentioned that on the show, that Abraham Lincoln's dog was named Fido, but he never actually made it to the White House. When he moved, he left him behind. And then
homeward bound.
Right? And then apparently Fido was also assassinated by a drunkard with a knife shortly after Lincoln's assassination. It's terrible.
Why have I never heard this? Lincoln was assassinated and then his dog was assassinated.
Lincoln also had a horse named Old Bob.
Old Bob, that's great. Ulysses S. Grant, homeboy, had a horse named St. Louis.
Yep, there you go. Let's see, what are some other good ones?
My uncle and aunt have a cat named General Grant in his honor, which is a pretty cool name for a cat.
James A. Garfield had a dog named Vito, which is actually a good name for a dog.
Solid dog name.
I feel like.
Theodore Roosevelt, Bill the Lizard.
Benjamin Harrison also had Mr. Reciprocity and Mr. Protection. They were opossums.
Oh my God! You know how badly I want a possum named Mr. Protection? That's our new superhero.
They were named from the 1896 Republican Party platform, which includes protection and reciprocity are twin measures of Republican policy and go hand in hand.
Theodore Roosevelt had a rat named Jonathan.
William McKinley had a yellow-headed Mexican parrot that could whistle Yankee Doodle named Washington Post. But there was another one that they mentioned that I was like, why would you even have a pet like this? Apparently Calvin Coolidge had a raccoon.
I'm looking at Calvin Coolidge now. He has had a ton of pets.
Yeah.
Was he our bachelor president?
No, because first lady, because what he had where was the raccoon? There was
There.
Reuben, a male raccoon acquired as a companion
Okay.
for Rebecca, who was their other raccoon, which was intended for a Thanksgiving feast. They were going to eat the raccoon, but the first lady had a treehouse built for her instead.
Like, I don't remember which one it is. It may not be Calvin Coolidge then, but there is some old president that was a bachelor. And so instead of getting married, he's like, can I just make my favorite niece the quote unquote first lady? Can I
I
just
don't
give that
remember.
title to her? She's always around.
Um, but yeah, I thought this was wild. So then I was like, all right, what does, let's see. So President Trump has 0 pets. So no
What?
offense, Melissa, but, someone who doesn't have pets, we can see why,
I don't. Well, okay. It's not like I was a child. I didn't have money to take care of a pet on my own. He does, and he still doesn't have one.
So it got me thinking, all right, what did Barack Obama have? What did George Bush have?
Bo.
Like all of that stuff.
I remember
But then,
Bo.
yeah, Sam says, I remember when an eagle attacked him. I remember that too. That was fantastic. But so then I was like, when was the last time that we didn't have a dog or a cat like in the White House? And I think the last time, let's see, yeah, I think the last time, if I'm not mistaken, was
Well, you look this up.
Ronald
I want to say.
Reagan.
Oh, he didn't have a dog or cat.
Well,
Did he?
he had them. I'm saying like something else besides a
Oh,
dog or
okay.
a
Oh,
cat.
so this was the last president to have a weird pet.
Yeah, just like what was the last weird pet? No, let's see. Ronald Reagan. It looks
I
like
I want to take a second and just
that could
say
be
that
wrong.
JFK had 2 ponies named Macaroni and Leprechaun.
Yeah, right. So no, I could be wrong with Ronald Reagan. Let me see here. We have Lucky the Boyrandis. That's a dog. He had horses. Ronald Reagan had horses, but I guess those stayed at his ranch, so that's not right. What about General Ford? Ford had a Siamese cat, a puppy, and a golden retriever. Nixon had cocker spaniels, a terrier, poodle, Irish setter. I guess Lyndon B. Johnson had love birds.
Cute.
That was the last one, and hamsters. And then before that was John F. Kennedy, who also had horses, rabbits, hamsters.
Okay.
Yucatan Yucatan Bay pony.
So the Clintons had a cat named Socks. I see here that
Yes,
the cat lived.
Sam also mentioned that too. Socks Clinton.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Hold on. First, I want to say this cat, according to Wikipedia, lived 20 years. Congratulations, Socks. Good long life for cat.
My socks don't last that long. They usually get holes in them.
I'd be really concerned if you were still wearing the same size socks that you had at age
20 years
8 or
ago.
9. Okay, so in the 90s, somebody made a video game about Socks the cat, and they only ever made one, like, proof of concept copy of this game. Socks the cat rocks the hill.
Speaking of copies, Sam in the chat says Socks looks like Xerox, and only Mel will understand who that is.
Oh, Sam had a cat named Xerox, and they named him Xerox because he looked just like a previous cat they had had. Like he was just a copy.
I would like to give a shout out to my segue on that one. Speaking of copies.
So, Socks the Cat Rocks the Hill is a platform video game Developed by Real-Time Associates for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the game stars Socks, the real-life presidential pet of the Clinton family. Originally scheduled for release in the fall of 1993, Socks the cat experienced delays until it was ultimately canceled due to the closure of the publisher's US branch. The game was complete, however, and review copies were still distributed to gaming publications. A prototype cartridge of the SNES version eventually entered the hands of private collectors. So, for a while, there was one known copy of the Socks the Cat game anywhere, and there was like one guy
Made
who
by
owned it and
Kaneko. Let me see.
refused to like copy it and put it online for other people to even see. This was like the holy grail, like rarest video game in the world for a while.
That's so
this
funny.
game about the presidential cat.
I'm playing a bit for people on the
I think now it has been released. There's enough out there that it could be released, and there's like a Kickstarter to get it released now.
This doesn't look like the White House.
How hard is it to make something look like the White House?
This cat is like in the... There's people there. There's some guy in a big blue trench coat. He has twin... I don't know. 3 lives left. I don't understand what is happening here. Is there a thing at the start that explains like what's happening? Oh, there's the White House. Here we go. Sirens are going off. It says portable nuclear missile launch reported stolen. Thieves are making off with the missile launch, or no, with the suitcase, but apparently Socks was in the suitcase. So Socks is now wherever these terrorists are. Foreign Fur Follies is level 1. That's ridiculous.
So, Kyle, all you wrote on our topic sheet was presidential pets. And I thought you were going to talk about this, but I also wondered if you were talking about pets that should be president.
Well, Clifford is out because he's a big red dog.
God, you just sympathize.
Yeah, you're right. We can't have that.
Oh, like, Snoopy is certainly popular, but I don't know how good of a leader he would be.
We would have to have like Wishbone or
my God, I would absolutely stand behind President Wishbone.
Collie, dog, something like that. What's a good cat?
I think Luna from Sailor Moon.
I was thinking
I'd trust
Luna
her.
or Salem, maybe.
Oof, Salem's. I love the man, but I don't know if he's got a solid head on his shoulders. He's also a man turned into a cat, and like I don't know how that works.
I mean, like, was he born in the U.S.?
I don't know that either. But like, if you're saying we'll make a pet president, we'll make an animal president, then what are our requirements for people turned into animals, like Zachary Binks? The fish from American Dad. He used to be a man.
Could the Animorphs become president?
When will we see our first Animorph president?
Right. Something. Wow. No. So what type of animal do you think would make the best president? Would like a wise old owl, a sly fox, something like that, or you're just like a fucking grizzly bear would make a great president?
I don't know. I think just like a solid, dependable, just plain dog. Just like
dog is always a good choice.
Like not a dog that's like too much of a lap dog or too much of a work dog. I think like, America's dog, the golden retriever, Comet. President Comet.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
A wisecracking parrot with a monocle.
That's almost what we have now. I would think something majestic like an elk
Oh, yeah.
would make a good president too.
President Elk.
I don't know why. Have you ever seen Brother Bear?
I saw it once.
I was thinking of the moose. How do
Oh,
you hit a mountain, eh? It was right in front of you.
Mackenzie Moose. I saw that movie once on a lot of cold medicine, and that's all I remember.
Oh, that movie. Those moose are great. I love them. They're fantastic. Yeah, no, I was just fascinated by, holy cow, we've had an alligator live in the White House. We've had a raccoon live in the White House, one that they were going to eat. Who eats a raccoon? The president of the United States. That's who.
Is it like your hometown favorite, like raccoon, like Ma used to make?
So it was 2 nights ago. My roommate let the dogs out.
Yeah.
Who? Who let the dogs out?
Didn't care for that at all.
Come on, Melissa. Boo! No, she let the dogs out, and Blueberry got herself a possum.
Blueberry. I don't know if you've told me all of your house.
It's
your housemates' pets' names.
It's Blueberry, and we call her Baloo for short. And then there's Maddox. He's my friend. He likes to hang out in my room. And then there's Apollo, which he's also they're all pit bulls. Maddox looks more like a mix of something else. He's more of a mutt. But Blueberry is a pit bull and looks like one. Apollo is also a pit bull, is much smaller and beefier, and looks like he's like skipped leg day. He's done everything but leg day.
Yeah.
And he's adorable, but he is not good with people. He's not even good.
See the
with
mama's
me.
boy?
Yes, yeah, that's him. He's we don't know if everything is okay upstairs with him. Not that he like is actually dumb. It's just we don't know like what else would, like, why does he act this way? Why is he like, I've been in the house longer than him. He knows that I live here, but he's still like, you're not allowed in the living room. What the fuck are you doing in the living room? Get out of the fucking living room. This is my living room. Get out of here. And yeah, and then it's not good. But yeah, so Blueberry got a possum, and Kelly had to be like, Blueberry, what are you doing? Put it down. You can't eat that. And the possum was hurt. Like Blueberry got him good. There were puncture wounds. But he didn't like eat it. He didn't like tear it up or anything. Like he just like clamped down and then let go. And yeah, and then eventually I just seen our chat Sam as presidential opossums. But so Kelly came to me 2 nights ago and was like, Kyle, I don't know what to do. There's an opossum in our yard and it's hurt and it's not moving and I don't know what to do. And I was like, I don't know what to do either. It like, how bad is it hurt? And she's like, there's puncture wounds, but it's still breathing, but it's fine. Like, I don't know. I was like, maybe just call animal control. I don't know. But then I was like,
yeah.
But it is an opossum. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, they play dead. I was like, I guarantee you,
they
if we just
bitten though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like they just go limp or just like stiff or just like, I will lay here and act like I am dead or barely moving until it's safe. and
Mm-hmm.
then I will go. And so yeah, that is exactly what happened. We called animal control, and then in the time that like the half an hour or so before she was like, all right, let's figure out what is happening, I was like, do you want to just check and make sure it's still out there so they don't show up and be like, oh, this crazy white girl calling for a fucking opossum, didn't know they play dead. And yeah, that is what happened. It was playing dead and ran off somewhere.
It's
We had,
possum home.
we
Have I
had
told you the story about my dad and the turkey?
no.
Okay. So years ago, before I was born, but when my parents did live in the house where they still live now,
Mm-hmm.
my older brother was probably like 10 to 12.
Sure.
This quiet little suburb, a wild turkey comes out from somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
I presume this is before all of the suburb was developed. Maybe it was still up against some woods or something. I don't really know where turkeys live, what landforms they choose.
They roost in trees.
Well, we must have had trees then. So there's a wild turkey about the neighborhood, and everybody is extremely agitated about this turkey. It
Turkeys are
did.
mean.
It
I'm gonna be
seemed.
honest. They're mean.
I heard, like he said, it was really aggressive.
Yeah.
There were kids around. We didn't know what to do. We were scared of this turkey. And I think dad like called animal control and like they weren't going to come or they weren't going to be able to come for a long time. And it was determined by the neighbors the turkey is a problem. We need this turkey out. The turkey's got to go. And my dad,
Yeah, we got a turkey problem out on East 22nd Street.
again, I was not there. I can't speak very much to the character of the turkey and its specific activities. All I knew was no, no, they said to the turkey. The turkey didn't listen. So my dad says, all right, let me go get my bow and arrow. Because
Yep.
he's like, well, I've got a rifle, but it would be illegal to discharge the rifle in a neighborhood under these conditions because he owns a lot of weapons, but he is very, very safe and meticulously legal about them. He's like, the only weapon I am legally allowed to discharge is the bow and arrow. So I'm gonna get out my archery equipment
I
and
mean, I
shoot.
feel like he could make a good argument for killing the turkey, and who
No,
knows though.
you don't take risks. My dad is a good boy, and he's like, I will use the legal weapon, the bow and arrow. So he shoots this turkey, and somewhere in our basement, there's a picture of like his workbench
Him
out in the
sitting there
garage.
like
Yeah, there's him. There's the turkey with an arrow through it. I think it only took one because he's a good shot. And it's him and like my older brother as a
I
kid,
challenge him to an archery
and
competition.
like two neighbor kids that moved away before I was born, so I have no idea who they are.
Mhm. That's so funny. That's funny. Yeah, my grandfather on my dad's side
Mhm.
had a big ranch. I guess both of my grandfathers did. But this one in particular always kept like a giant trash can filled with like corn pellets and would
Yeah.
feed these geese and stuff like that. So every year, the same geese would come into town and would stay on my grandfather's ranch, and he would go out and he would feed them. And I remember one time we were all on the phone with them talking, and just casually comes up and goes, "Oh, hey, I will be right back." Hear him like put the phone down, walk away, don't know what's happening. 2 minutes go by, 3 minutes go by.
Ugh.
Boom, boom.
Ugh.
Silence. Comes back like 2 minutes afterwards. I got him. It was a fox. And he was like, yeah, he got in the fence and he was starting to attack the he was starting to attack the geese.
Aw.
So yeah, I mean, my grandfather had stuff like that happened on his ranch. Later on, when I was in like high school and stuff like that, there were 20 turkeys that would
Ooh.
just, and they were wild turkeys, like they weren't actually his, and they would just hang out in the driveway and they were mean. We would get out of the car and be like, all right, go shoot, get away, and you'd be like, no, who the fuck are you, buck at me. Look, if you buck, homeboy. But yeah, it was they were not fun to be around. We'd have to like rush inside and stuff like that. So turkeys are mean. That's the moral of this story. When will we have a turkey in the White House? That's what I want to
Well, they
know.
pardon one every year. I presume then afterwards they give it a tour.
And this is the East Wing where for 2 months we had an alligator. But yeah, let's wrap things up with that. A little bit of housekeeping before we go. Last week here on the Captain's Log, Dirty Electricity, we learned all about some facts about Virginia, and we ended up discovering Virginia's sexual energy. I'll leave it at that. Go check it out. We already mentioned Stumptown, which was what we covered on the review show last week. Go check it out. As Melissa mentioned, there's also a TV show that is happening there. So go do that. Coming up on the review show, week 1 of Spoopy Month.
Yep.
I know you're gonna be doing spooky things. I'm gonna be doing spooky things too. I don't know what yet. But for the month of October, we will be doing spooky things, to be on the lookout for that. The Whatnauts.com is where you can get more. You can find all of our podcasts just by searching the Whatnauts on your app of choice. If you like what we do, patreon.com is where you can support patreon.com/the Whatnauts specifically is where you can support us for as little as $1. You can get episodes early, you can get access to the live streams of the review show, so on and so forth. At the $3 tier, you can get all of our exclusive content, including our recent exclusive episode of the Captain's Log, where we found out which Sailor Moon scouts we were. And that was a wild ride.
Yeah, it's more shocking than you would expect.
I was not expecting those answers at all. Strange. And we would also like to give a big shout out to our Patreon supporters at the $5 tier. So thank you to Sam, who has been in the chat, who is excited for episode 69, which will be next week.
I've already got a discussion topic prepared. I let you know ahead of time so that you can do your homework and prepare a rebuttal against my argument.
Yes, it'll
be
a
agreement
debate
to my
team.
Argument, which would be great because I know I'm right.
So thank you to Sam and to Christine, who have been helping us out, keeping these podcasts afloat. We love you guys a lot. Thank you so much for that. Melissa, where can the people find you? And do you want to tease them for what episode 69 is going to be?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. And just because we brought him up earlier, our buddy James Bond, I did a guest episode on a James Bond podcast called Spectre. That episode should be releasing, I think, sometime in October. You can hear me and the two hosts talking about Moonraker, which is so cornball and so fun.
There you go.
And
good stuff.
My topic for episode 69 is Star Trek is sexier than Star Wars.
And I am supposed to argue against that.
For or against, I did propose it like it's...
Okay, or just have a discussion in general.
It doesn't have to be debate class, but I'm going into it like it's debate class.
Okay.
I have flashcards and notes.
You guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter and Instagram. We are at the Whatnauts on Twitter, is where you can find all that stuff. Go like, share, subscribe, sell your soul, tell a friend, tell a foe, do whatever you have to do to spread the word and find us on the interwebs. We will see you guys next week for episode 69. All right, bye.
Whatever that noise was, I still liked it better than giggity giggity.
Giggity, giggity, giggity goo. All right, bye. We're out of here. Thank you so much for checking out that video. We hope you enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun to make, actually. That was a good one, if I do say so myself. Let us know in the comments below which celebrity animal you think would make the best president. That would be cool. In the meantime, also go subscribe to our channel and go watch one of the other videos right down here, and that'll help us out because we got a lot more podcasts for you to check out. Peace.